Welcome to Hope Institute's Child First Care series. In these videos, we will introduce you to some practical ways you can equip children to thrive. Today, we're talking about giving a child a safe place to fail. This may not seem like a big subject, but this idea may be one of the most important things you can ever implement on your campus. Think for a moment about the idea of failure for a child coming into care. Before they came to you, the choices they made could have extraordinary consequences. For a child in an abusive context, making a choice that displeased the abuser might result in greatly heightened abuse. Or, for a child of the street, failure at any level could be an existential threat. Sometimes there were no second chances. So, failure for these children almost automatically can trigger stress responses. Mistakes are an essential part of learning for everyone. They push us out of our comfort zones and teach us that making a bad choice or being able to successfully complete a task is both inevitable and okay. Our task then is to help children internally regulate reaction to failure in a healthy way. We have to flip the narrative for these children and build a healthy growth mindset for them. We want children to be able to experience setbacks, mistakes, and even failure, and to be able to internally regulate their response so that failure becomes a springboard for growth. Think of it this way. When you give a child a safe place to fail, you are investing in a more colorful emotional wardrobe for that child, one that actually celebrates the day that has difficult moments. Just like a healthy plate of food contains many colors, a healthy day should be filled with a wide range of emotions and experiences. Some of them really good, some of them just okay, and some of them may be difficult for a child. But having them all and navigating them successfully is really important. Here are a few things that giving a child a safe place to fail does for them. First, it helps them to begin to build a capacity for self-regulation. You hear us use that phrase a lot, and that's because we believe that it is really important. This is the ability to have an internal modulator that knows how to land and settle. When a child comes from a context where every decision, every action has enormous consequences for them, there is not much middle regulation. They are constantly either very high, success, or very low, failure. But when they learn that tripping and falling is not the end of the story, they can begin to exist on a much more even keel. Then, when children develop this internal thermostat, they are able to use their energy to learn rather than using it to hold themselves together. Second, safe failure teaches a child resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from failing. You fell off the bike? Let's try again. You got the math question wrong? Let's find the mistake and correct it. But then, a few years later, I didn't get that job? Okay, I'll look for the next place I'm going to apply and get my resume in. Letting children fail and recover at the small things will give them the emotional resilience that it takes to bounce back from the big fails that every one of us experiences. Finally, and you don't get to this last example unless you've experienced the others first, giving children and adolescents a safe place to fail teaches them that family is still there for them in the middle of failure, that making a mistake does not make you unworthy of love. But teaching this lesson takes real intentionality on your part. From picking the child up and brushing the dirt off their knee when that first bicycle lesson doesn't go well, to welcome them back with open arms when they experience a real-life failure. So how does this play out on your campus? Here are a few principles that can help you build that safe space. First, don't minimize a child's feeling. Empathize with the child. See that she is in distress. Don't just say, "It's okay, you'll do better next time." This invalidates a child's feelings of frustration and disappointment. Change your language. "I know you are really disappointed," as you set the stage for moving forward. Second, even as you give them space to fail, help them find a path to success. Maybe this means some extra time on that math homework, or a little longer with the training wheels on the bike. But one note here, be careful how you define success. You may have a child who loves basketball, but who will never have the talent to be a star. Perhaps success for them comes not from being a star, but from learning to be a really good team member. And here's an example of how it might play out for a big decision for an adolescent. You have several vocational tracks, and one young man really wants to be an auto body and paint specialist. It's his dream job. Your experience with him tells you that's not a good choice for him. You could tell him no, making sure that he's not trying something at which he is certain to fail. Or maybe better, you could counsel him that he needs to rotate through several vocational training options. Perhaps he will surprise you and find that he really does have an aptitude for painting cars. Or more likely, he is going to experience disappointment when that career choice does not work out for him. But if you have given him a safe space to fail, he can be resilient enough to bounce back and start embracing a new vocational path. And that is how you can measure success. If you liked this video, check out some more of the resources on our site. And be sure to let us know how giving your kids a safe place to fail is working for you.